This podcast is part of the Deluxe Edition Network. To find other great shows on the network, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
Bev's Video Kingdom is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised.
Bev's Video Kingdom really is brought to you by...
What the fuck?
What's up, dude?
One of my renters broke the toilet again. That dude takes giant shits. Now I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Why don't you hire a property management company or something to take care of that stuff?
Because they suck, and they take 10%.
You know, our dude Hank owns and manages Heritage Realty Partners. I think he said he only charges 5%, and he visits each property at least once a month.
That's right. He's always posting beers from the road. You have his number?
Actually, I do. His personal number is 805-451-5734.
Perfect. Now he can deal with my renter's big shits.
Heritage Realty Partners.
For all your property management and investment needs.
Let's start this thing. Woo!
Hello, BVK listeners. How are y'all doing today? It is time for a draft episode. Hope you all had a great Memorial weekend. We are fresh off the heels of our Saving Private Ryan pod. And this week, we're going to keep it on brand and on theme by drafting the most memorable war movie scenes.
Wait a minute.
Wait, no.
Ho.
Battle scene, right?
Most memorable war scene in a movie. Does the movie have to be a war movie?
I'm sorry. War scene.
Because there's this one movie in
movie.
The English Patient that was super touching to me.
What about the War of the Roses? Or
exactly.
Right.
One of my favorite war
movies,
scenes is in Amelie.
War Games.
Yeah, Amelie. Oh, yeah.
There's a great war scene
Jesus,
in
that war scene is wild.
It's a war scene in any movie, war movie or not. Because there are a couple movies that are not, I would not consider war movies that have great war scenes.
As long as it's a war scene, I think it counts.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
When the rabbits start fucking each other up and Watership Down.
Among others.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I had a feeling that we were going to get into some discussion on this because I definitely had some thoughts. Like, does it have to be like a actual war, or does it have to kind of be like sci-fi? Okay,
you mean like does Congress have to have declared war for it to count?
Right.
No, I think sci-fi is for sure okay. And I think
it has to be.
A Rocky and Drago went to war.
No.
Yes, they did.
You go ahead and pick that, dummy.
Battle scene.
So what I was going to say was there has to be at least a team against another team.
And by team, you mean like
multiple people, or it could be
the longest yard.
Like dodgeball counts.
Right. Well, this is going to fucking
dodge
suck.
a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
All right, so before we get to all that, we have plenty of time to talk out the caveats, but we are part of the Deluxe Edition Network, and the pods of the month are still horsing around, and the real drunks
The real drunks are our bros.
Bros and female companions.
Yeah, I made that mistake last time.
Well, the OG real drunks were just Matt and
Jake. But now they've got Alyssa, and she made her triumphant return not too long ago. So.
Okay, all right.
Awesome.
I wasn't trying to exclude.
Lots of great pods on the network. Check them out. Definitely tons of different subjects and things to listen to if you like movies, interviews, true crime, history, all kinds of stuff. Check it out.
So what else we got? What do we got coming up, Brad? What else we got?
Oh, the next big event involves a guy right here to my right.
Oh, is that me?
Yeah.
Oh.
What are you going to be doing on June 24th?
June 24th, Oakdale, California, at Dying Breed. Flying Blind, also known as Your Brother's Band, is going to be hitting the stage, and tickets are selling like crazy. They could be sold out as of right now. I haven't checked in a while, and there will be tickets at the door, but you'll have to pay a little more money for them. So if there's tickets available, snag them.
It's getting very close to sell out, folks, if it hasn't sold out already. So it's going to be a blast. It's going to be just a traditional, fun rock and roll show.
Yeah, dude. We're going to start off with some originals, some classic original stuff that we've done, and then we just at like the second set, we just play a fucking fun part.
Are you allowed to say like if you have anything special for the Dying Breed show? Like I know you guys have been rehearsing and stuff. Is there anything brewing that you're allowed to talk about?
We usually don't like to announce that ahead of time.
We
like to just kind of hit people in the face with it.
Yeah, kind of.
You know?
I bet it's going to be Rodeo from Garth Brooks, isn't it?
Oh, or the dance.
Garth Brooks was fucking actually mentioned at one point. I don't know if we're gonna do it or not.
Looking back.
No, they're not going to do anything slow. They're not trying to put everybody to fucking sleep.
I said
call the thing a rodeo.
I said the dance.
Come on.
It's not a Scotch Bake solo
It's
show.
boots and blood. It's dust and mud.
Yeah, that's right.
So speaking of,
are you ready for another go round?
Speaking of your brother's band, I had a couple of epiphanies. I don't know if I should share them on the air, which means I'm going to. One of them is pretty innocent, which is that your brother and I, as everyone knows, have mimicked each other in terms of our looks for literally decades. Like I looked back at the fucking. I never see the way that I look like anyone, including my children. But I'm looking at the poster that's been circulating for the Dying Breed show, which is from you guys like 20 some years ago.
Yeah,
and I'm like, when was I in Flying Blind as a high school senior? I swear to God, dude, I look. I'm like
the wave hair, like it's like your senior
the
picture.
Facial structure and everything.
Wow.
So here's the other thing, and then we've both gotten heavier and balder and whatever over time. And so we continue to look a lot alike to the point where as I've said, like once a month,
I've been with you as
come
you've been
up
mistaken.
and say it. So I also realized the other day, I have the opposite problem of most people in terms of posture, which is when I walk, I put my shoulders really far back, which bugs me. I look like fucking weird.
You think you put your shoulders back?
Yeah, like it looks like I'm trying to puff my chest out. It's
you should
odd.
try hunching. That's what I do. I tend to do.
I think I would do better with a little hunch. I try to hunch.
My wife
never works.
Fucking hates it. She's like, "Will you stand the fuck up?"
No, I do this weird thing, but Andrew does this too.
Does he really?
I think so.
That.
So we walk the same, which is part of the problem. Okay, so that's my one observation. The second one is I just had this epiphany tonight that I think there's a couple. I think I've gotten some attention from some of Andrew's former girlfriends because I look like him.
Oh,
I'm just going to throw that out there.
Okay.
Jesus.
I don't want to be specific about it, but I think I've ridden the coattails of Andrew Franca in terms of not like anything advanced. I'm just saying I think I get a look from some of his former girlfriends because I look like him. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out
That look
there.
is called disdain.
hopefully those.
I didn't say what kind of look it was.
Hopefully those coattails are made out of rubber.
It's definitely some latex involved. Okay, so
Next up, folks, also the tickets go on sale in 2 days for the motherfucking Catalina Wine Mixer on August 12th. Your friends from BVK will be hosting a wild, raucous event at the State Theater Modesto where we will be screening the movie
Step Brothers.
and we will be eating sushi and all sorts of hors d'oeuvres, and we will be drinking the finest beers and wines available to us, presented by Last Call and presented by Dying Breed, and it's going to be just a party.
a lot of room for activities also.
A lot of room for activities.
So much room for activities.
There's going to be maybe some karate in the garage. Actually, literally, there will be karate in the garage
Love it.
But also,
in liquid
literally,
form.
there might be karate in the garage.
Dude, I when I heard about this event, this is the second year they've done it, and when I heard about it last year, and like I heard about it late, and it was all sold out. I was so fucking pissed I couldn't go because it sounded like so much fun, and we get to host it.
It's like
it's gonna be so fun.
it's like a real rags to riches story. It's like last year you were just looking outside, looking in, and now we're hosting.
Yeah.
God,
We're going to be right in the middle of that thing. We're probably going to be, drinking some beverages and maybe causing some problems and being a little aggressive.
might be a little BVK trivia. Who knows?
I mean, not about, about
If we
us,
do-
specifically about us.
We're gonna be like, okay, we're doing trivia, but it's all about best video game contest. Step Brothers can suck it.
And who knows? We might even have some costumes on. Who knows? Who knows what
I've been known to wear a costume.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
This is all news to me. I'm excited.
It's actually like, what are we doing?
Mr. Traveler over here, who,
We're wearing, we're
luckily
wearing-
we got you back last
What
week.
kind of costumes are we going to wear?
We can talk about it.
Okay, I'm excited.
We're like Flying Blind. I mean, we don't release that shit.
You're going to be. You're going to be.
I'm
Andrew.
gonna bring up as Andrew Franca. And no one will know who's actually on stage. Okay.
Andrew's in BVK?
I can't
Holy
wait.
shit.
I can't wait till we get famous enough that people start going up to Andrew and be like, hey, what's up, Nate? How's the podcast going?
Hey, speaking of costumes and stuff to wear, hey, look what I'm wearing.
Bev's Video Kingdom.
Oh, that's an awesome
beautiful-
shirt with
that's
our
a
logo.
beautiful
shirt.
soft
Bev's Video
t-shirt.
Kingdom t-shirt.
Can anybody get one of these T-shirts? I think you can.
I think it fits you very well, too.
Thank you.
That's a nice form-fitting shirt.
It's a really nice shirt. It's good quality. And you can get these shirts at scotchbeck.com. Just go on there, look in the merch section, and we have a whole BVK section. You can get mugs, you can get pint glasses, little
pint
wine
glasses
tumblers.
are heavy, dude.
Yeah.
My parents got a pair.
They can't even drink out of them. They're so heavy.
The wine tumblers
they're-
are nice. My wife's friends got some of those,
Yep.
so I've seen those, and yeah, it's legit stuff.
We're gonna
And if you don't like Scotch Beck, all the proceeds don't go to him because it's
Right.
on his website.
Yeah, we get some of that.
We actually get some of that.
So yeah, go. You Sportner, you'll be the coolest. You'll be the coolest kid in town. Everybody's like, "What's Bev's Video Kingdom?" You're like, "You like to know, wouldn't you?" You know what I mean? Don't tell them about us for sure.
Yeah, there's no reason to spread the word. And folks, you know what? We might have some new listeners out there. Some new listeners. We've got some new listeners out there. If you're new to BVK, hey, we're just a bunch of guys sitting around bullshitting about movies and doing drafts, and we are happy to have you aboard. Go back and check some of our, find a favorite movie of yours or a fun draft topic, listen to some of our old stuff, and spread the word. Hit us up on the socials. We've got at BVK Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, Bev's Video Kingdom. So check us out on the socials.
Leave a review if you can.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
great. It's
wherever you're
super
listening.
helpful. It helps with the algorithms and all that stuff. And we've had people
Why do people say that? It helps with the algorithm.
because it does. It's a fact.
I literally only care about algorithms. I don't know if you guys know that. But
I care about these
pretty
people as people, not
I'm only-
for their algorithm modifying abilities.
when I
Come
look
on.
at you, all I see is an algorithm.
Fuck.
But seriously though, can I just say something really quick? If you're gonna recommend us to your friends, like don't recommend. We only have one ask. Like don't recommend us to your lame friends. We don't want any lame listeners. We only want
Only
the
cool
coolest of the cool. So
And if you're gonna do it, like go all in, right? Like be in. Don't just be like, oh hey, there's this like podcast I like. I forget it's Bev something. Like find us,
Yeah.
hit the little share button, stick it into a text message, and be like, you got to listen to this shit because I'm gonna ask you about it next time we talk.
Or just grab their phone and be like, look, here, I'll just put it in your phone for
yeah,
you.
I'm gonna
subscribe for them.
and follow, subscribe for them, leave a review from their phone.
And
That's
check,
my
and,
favorite.
and check their photos for nudes.
the best way.
You make sure you look at the recently deleted.
That's a
also.
throwback. That's an early Bev's Video Kingdom hack that we life hack that we gave out. Ask someone to use their phone, put in the podcast, subscribe, and then check for
Did
nudes.
we really talk-
really
did we really
did.
talk about that?
That's a very, very, very old reference.
That was an early podcast.
That sounds like us, but
That's
I don't
on
know.
brand.
Don't do that. It's illegal.
Well, it depends on what state you're in. So, but if you want to know why we're called Bev's Video Kingdom, go back and listen to our little intro ditty.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we'll tell you all about us. All right.
And don't worry, Nick didn't die or anything.
Yeah.
He just got replaced by Scotch Beck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A much svelter version of him.
All right, folks. You know what time it is?
I know what time it is.
Oh my God, it's draft day, and I am just excited.
About to
Nate was
own you.
playing the air drums there and missed the hit like
No.
three times.
I phantom played
you did?
the first, the second and third beat of the measure,
is that
and
what
then
you were
I
doing?
finished it. Yeah.
Oh, that's
It was a
makes sense now.
The phantom played it.
very tricky.
It was like
Phantom technique.
it was like a teaser. It's like a percussion teaser. I don't know if you know that, Scott. I don't know if you know about that, but that's the thing.
Oh boy, Zach, Scotch got ahead of you by you being gone, shitting yourself and all that stuff. Scotch was able to jump ahead in the win total. So,
Yeah, no, that we're tied now. If we're going by the real standings, so
gosh, you're going
Let's
to do
just
that.
be-
he's not gonna let it
You're
go.
going to do that all this whole season, but you know.
it's cool if he wants to feel good about getting ahead of me while I'm pooping, but that's fine.
All right, so we are going to be drafting, like we said, memorable war scene in movies. So it doesn't have to be a war movie.
Correct.
But we'll see what everybody.
It would probably help, but
it might.
doesn't have to be. You never know.
Yeah, go out
Memorable
there, just jump.
war scene in a movie.
That's what the draft category says.
I like it.
Yep. You guys ready for a draft order, or do we need to talk any more caveats, or what's up?
I think Scott brought up an important one that I think should definitely count, and
it
that
can't be-
sci-fi bullshit counts.
Yeah, sci-fi.
Yeah.
I think
Sci-fi
sci-fi counts.
fantasy counts.
Okay.
It could be a fictional battle or a real battle
Right.
portrayed.
But it could also be like aliens and fucking bullshit,
Yeah, it
right?
could be
Yeah,
any
yeah,
of that. And I would say it has to be what would be characterized as a battle and not a fight. Meaning,
Right.
It can't be like we can't be like West Side Story here.
Or like
Oh no, that's what?
How about like Butch Cassidy and Sundance
West Side
Kid?
Story is a war battle.
They say zip guns. We say zip guns. The fuck?
Never mind. West
like-
Side Story is
So
on
like,
the table.
how about like Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid? It's like the two against the whole Spanish army.
So that was like
Is that it's not a
Is that
war
that's
scene.
not war.
It's not
That's
war.
not war.
So
I would
say not
that's
war.
why
There
I
has to be like
Right.
very much sides that are in an ongoing struggle against each other.
right. Okay. But and then anything else I guess we can
Okay.
discuss
We'll
it as
figure
it comes up.
All right.
But yeah,
All right.
and like not like one guy fighting a bunch of people. It's like has to be like a fucking battle.
Ongoing struggle
Right. Sure.
against forces.
Whatever he said.
That sounds like word soup. But okay, let's go.
All right, here we go. So we do need a draft order. So let's see what good old Chat GPT has for us today. The four hosts of Bez Video Kingdom podcast, Scotch, Zach, Brad, and Nate, were lined up in front of Captain Miller for the start of the boot camp training. They were all nervous, but also excited to see what they were capable of. Captain Miller barked out orders at them, putting them through their paces with various drills and exercises. The four hosts struggled to keep up, but they were determined to make it through the 4-week-long boot camp. After the first week, they were already feeling the strain. Nate was the first to drop out, unable to keep up with the physical demands of the training. That's the last pick. The following week, Brad was the next to go. He has a hard time with the early morning runs and the obstacle courses.
this all sounds about right.
Third pick. By the end of the third week, Zach was also struggling. His body was sore, and he was exhausted from the long hours of training. Scotch was the only one left standing as they entered the fourth and final week of the boot camp. He was determined to make it through to the end, but he knew it wouldn't be easy. The final week was grueling, but Scotch pushed himself to the limit and managed to make it through to the end. He was proud of himself for completing the training, but he knew there was still more to come.
Brad.
Good job, Scotch.
Checks out.
Brad, say boot camp.
Boot camp.
When did Brad become Canadian?
Boot.
What's this all about?
I swear.
What's this about?
Is it? I think you literally have gotten a Canadian accent from listening to from watching
boot,
Letterkenny.
Boot
Kenny.
is boot.
boot.
Boot. How else would you say boot?
Boot. Not boot.
What are you talking about?
Boot is
We're
more
talking about
oaky
boot.
than anything.
Boot.
Like, hey,
no, I'm telling
I'm
you,
putting my boots on.
listeners, drop, hit it,
My boots on.
rewind about a minute, and then listen to Brad read boot camp, and you will hear the Canadian.
allegedly.
Listen up, maggots. Thanks for coming to my boot camp.
All right, so I'm last. How does this happen? If Scott wins,
Why are you mad about being last? I'm third. Third's the worst fucking pick. Has not won once this year.
Scott has absolutely benefited from position, and I hate him. Okay,
What
let's
really
go.
sucks is that you have a third pick, Brad, and you're the worst drafter, so it like
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of
it's like a
compounds on
double.
top
Right.
of it.
It's like an
Scotch has
interactive-
been first pick twice, so this will be 3 times now.
Yeah.
Out of,
How many times have I been first? None.
you got it 2 in a row in weeks 5 and 6.
Yeah, I know. Those were the weeks I was.
Then
not
Zach
feeling
went 2 in a row. I have not been first pick once this year. Wow. That's terrible.
Oh shit.
All right, let's
Okay.
go. Let's go. Enough
All
of
right.
the shenanigans.
All right, it's time to start drafting.
Nate, you gonna get your first win this week?
No, probably not.
God damn it!
I kind of feel like I might give up.
You're gonna try and go
I don't know. I don't know what I'm
No,
gonna,
dude.
No, I don't know what I'm
Last
gonna
week,
do.
there's
I'm
so
not
many
gonna
good
give
movies
up.
that you didn't draft because you didn't think about it enough. I hope you're better prepared.
I hope you know what? You can take your patronization and just run it down the road, bitch. Okay. I'm as well prepared as anyone ever needed to be.
All right.
You go.
Okay.
That means it's not very.
Scotch back. Defend your title.
It's interesting because there's definitely a lot of really, really good first round picks in my opinion. Is there a clear one of one?
Yes.
Yes,
I think so too. Whether this is it or not, I
it's
don't know.
not the one you're thinking of.
It is
Okay.
the one he's thinking of.
It's probably maybe the one you're thinking.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
And if there's ever a time to wear the T-shirt,
It's the right pick.
That's the correct
it's the
one.
Omaha Beach.
Yep.
Because talk about just fucking a scene that just knocks the wind out of you as you're watching it. You
Yep.
feel so involved. It's so much first person shit blowing up around you, and it's incredible. And you hear the stories about the veterans passing out in theaters and shit. And we talked about all this stuff last week on the pod. But yeah, man, yeah.
It's really cool. My only nitpick with it, and I talked about it last week, was the fucking weird slow mo. Like, I just don't like that. It seems so dated now when you watch it. Like the weird,
Yeah.
choppy slow mo.
I like it because the sound kind of cuts out too. And
I
it
like
gets
that.
muffled,
I like
Yeah.
the sound cutting out. Gladiator sort of had the same weird slow mo. I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah, but definitely it was effective back when I first watched that thing, and I love it, especially because it's like you think about it, how would you be seeing things there? Would it be in slow motion? Would things just be a blur? Like, I don't understand how anybody can go through that shit.
All right, enough talking about that. We talked about that movie for way too long.
It's definitely the correct. It's definitely the correct number.
It's correct number one.
Yeah,
I think that's where we were all
non-controversial.
I 100% agree that is the number one pick. The number two pick is much more difficult, in my opinion. So I'm going to cheat. Can I cheat?
Yeah, do something stupid.
Why not?
Okay.
Why not?
I'm going to take the entire movie of Dunkirk.
That is a wild pick, but you're suggesting the entire movie is one war, so one battle.
One battle. Isn't it?
I still haven't seen it.
It's not even really a battle. It's a retreat.
Okay.
I mean, there's some fighting.
I think you definitely can take it.
It was absolutely.
It's a war scene.
It was listed on every list I looked at.
Oh yeah, no, it's a war scene.
I'm going to take it because you got dogfight scenes. You've got the shit going on the beach.
And just
exactly. They're all different scenes, bro.
That's why it says most memorable.
But it's like all one battle. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
but
literally the whole movie takes place over like what, a couple of hours?
But it's not the most memorable war battle in a movie. It's the memorable war scene.
We're looking for.
Okay, so if I don't take Dunkirk, none of y'all can take Dunkirk then.
That's wild.
Or if somebody can.
No,
pick
we can take
a
it.
scene.
We just can't. We just have to pick one of the scenes from it. You can take it. You just got to pick a scene.
Well, I don't want it if I don't get the whole movie.
Then great. Don't take it. I'm going to take a scene from it. Perfect.
So you're not going to take that now.
Well, no, I'm saying I take the whole movie. It's one battle. If you don't allow me to take
2.5
that
hour scene,
I don't give a shit. Let them have it.
If you don't want to allow that, I'll take a different one.
Well, only if we can tell the judge.
Nope.
It's seen. Just make sure you think it's seen.
Well, no. We're going to tell him the category is the most memorable war scene in a movie. I mean, that is the category. If you want to take that and allow the judge to interpret whether that's one continuous
roll the
scene,
dice.
you should go for it.
If you love it, if you think it's a great pick,
yeah, go for it.
and you can't just grab one scene out of the movie.
I'm going to change my pick.
Okay. I like that.
Now,
I like
somebody can pick a scene from that movie. Now you realize that.
That's fine.
Okay.
We could have all. I mean,
Yeah.
That's fine.
Nobody.
To be honest, if he takes the whole movie, I might still take a scene from the movie just to say,
Can't do that.
Okay. Says the guy who prepared as we were sitting here.
I think you should take the whole movie since he doesn't take it, and then you roll the dice.
Did you just call him out for preparing as he's sitting here?
Yeah, I did, Brad. He
learned it from you,
What's
Dad.
your point? What's your point, Brad?
He learned it from you.
I don't want your life.
Nate, when he saw Zach for the first time since Zach was shitting himself, he's like, "Hey, I got this great draft technique. Just show up unprepared and just show up your phone. See what hour late.
See what you can find on the Google in real time." All right, come on, bro.
I'm gonna go with the opening scene for Gladiator. Fuck it.
That's
a great
a great pick. It's not wrong.
It's just I want to win, and I know who the judge is. And I don't think he's going to value that as much as some of these other.
I have a hard time predicting, but
Yeah, I'm at a complete disadvantage this week because I don't know him at all.
I think that's solid. I think that's a very good pick. I don't think that's. I think that's worthy of a first rounder.
Easily first rounder in my opinion.
All right, I'm going to go with the legit first rounder, and it's going to be the first actual people fighting.
Okay.
And I'm going to go the Battle of Helm's Deep, Two Towers.
I think that's the
Good
move.
call.
That was definitely high on my list that didn't exist.
okay. This is tough.
Dude, shit, I just realized it wasn't on my list. I know I thought about it and well, shit.
When Legolas and oh my gosh, I forgot what the dwarf's name is. When they're like counting like their kills as they fight, it's so legit.
Or like when that the giant huge orc like takes the bomb and blows the little hole in the that whole scene where that the fucking rocks are flying everywhere and
Well, yeah, shit's going bad at that point. They're just retreating into the
All right.
castle.
Oh,
Nate, you got to rap.
I don't even know what to do here because I can't trust the things that I like. I can't trust the things that I think someone else would like. None of this makes any sense to me.
Oh, those are true. You should pick the battle in
Pitch Perfect? I already thought of that. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for Zach for
Or
8
Thumper
Mile.
and Fat
I-
Amy.
dude,
Oh, rap battle.
Rap
I
battle,
legit
Zach,
almost
8 Mile.
I almost went 8 Mile. And I still might. So
That
just
would have
don't
gone.
blow.
That would go over great with Lieutenant Dan.
His name's Clarence, and his parents have a pretty good marriage.
That's good. That's good line.
Nice work. Okay.
It's outstanding.
I'm going to take in my opening round the battle for Stirring Bridge. Is it Stirring Bridge? Braveheart.
I mean, Sterling.
Yeah, I have the L's probably there. Sterling Bridge.
Sterling.
I got auto corrected.
The battle for Stirring Bridge.
I love it. Now, Forrest Gump is in every movie.
I thought that was a British Forrest Gump, maybe.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know.
It's his cousin. I'm Forrest. My cousin Forrest.
So, which battle was that? Is there any highlights you want to tell us?
It's where they have blue faces.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, where they show them their butts
Look
at the
at
beginning,
Scotch.
bro.
I'm just saying. I'm just asking. I'm
Where he
curious.
prima noctas that dude's lady,
You
dude.
did that, yeah.
I was just wondering, is it the one where they have the spears, or is it the one where they,
They have a lot of different fighting.
flank them?
They have a lot of different fighting implements, Scott.
Okay.
There's violence in charging.
Okay.
Every time we talk about Braveheart, I remember the podcast where Nate, like, very matter of factly told Nick that, and I tried to invoke the rule of prima nocta, just like very seriously.
Right there in Nick's face, Nick was just like not
what?
sure how to react.
Wait, was this talking about Nick's wedding?
Yes.
Yeah. You said you married them and then you didn't get to.
How
You were
the right
upset.
prima nocta.
It was so funny.
Should
to
I
me.
be? Should I have not said that?
It's just because
It was great.
It's just because Nick is the type of guy that doesn't think that kind of shit is funny, and it was fucking so funny to me.
Because we were just live and it's like, oh, dude, is he going to throw the table? It's great.
Nick knows me well enough to know that I'm both serious and not serious.
He quit the pot shortly after.
That's true.
We finally found the reason.
Oh God, I think we figured it out.
That was a good pick, Nate. That was a first rounder for me.
Yeah, pick another. Why are we vamping for you? You should have a
I don't
second pick
know.
ready.
Nah, you guys are interrupting, not vamping. All right, I'm going to take the battle for Thermopylae from 300 as my.
Is that the one with the fucking?
Gerard Depardieu Butler? Yes.
Oh no, that's not where I was going with that. Is that the one where he like throws the spear at the dude, and he's like up in the thing, and then
It's the one where he sometimes fights with just his abs.
dude, his abs.
He hits people with his 8-pack.
They do the slow motion in that too, where it's like all of a sudden it slows down a
Lot
bunch
of
and
slow
like
motion.
The slow
showing off
motion's
those abs.
amazing in that
Yeah.
though. Do you remember seeing
Yeah.
that shit in the theater? I remember being like, "This is just amazing."
Yeah, it did, from the very beginning of that. That's like
Yeah.
because nothing had been out like that. That
It's
started
unreal.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The graphic novel come to the screen.
All green screen shot.
Just-
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
What's crazy to me is that movie. They did a lot of talking about the like workout regimen that the dudes were on
Yeah.
to get so ripped.
Yeah.
But then the whole movie CGI, you think they could have just eaten some carbs and fucking given 6-packs to all those dudes?
Can you imagine how pissed they were after they found out? They were like,
just like wait, the
"Bro,
whole movie
We could have
CGI?
just eaten a burger. You could have just made the 6-pack up here.
That's what I'm saying.
That was. I think Zack Snyder directed that, didn't he? I think that was like one of his earlier first
that
movies.
is
yeah.
Zach.
Before he got canceled.
Is he canceled too?
I don't know. They all.
I don't think it is.
I think
don't know.
everybody's canceled.
Anyway, so it is now my pick, and
You're canceled, Nate. Prima
Prima
nocta
nocta.
fucking comment got you
I have
canceled.
a really good feeling where Brad's
in
gonna go right
research, I learned, and actually kind of hurts me because I really like this theme. The song, the Wagner song, is absolutely amazing. Ride of the Valkyries.
there. Oh,
Is that your pick?
And
I can't
this
believe it
is-
didn't go yet.
This is as the helicopters come into a village in Vietnam, and just lay waste. It's got the famous "Love the Smell of Napalm in the Morning," and that song's playing da 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 da. But what I found out about that song, it was one of Hitler's favorites. So fuck Hitler.
oh wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Wagner, German composer. So
I mean, we can't just cancel stuff because other people like
oh no,
it.
it's still a bomb of a song.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
it.
I mean, but if we were, it'd be Hitler.
I can cancel anything I want.
Well, I mean, like Hitler probably had like a dog that he really loved too. It's not like we're gonna kill all the dogs and not have any.
So
dogs.
are you
His dog. He had a dog in him.
He's got that dog in him.
In
Dog.
hell, he has a dog in him right now.
As a-
But when he was in his bunker before he killed himself, they killed the dog too. They had a dog.
That's what they used to say about Hitler. He's got that dog in him.
He was a mean dog.
I'm saying there's a dog in him right now. Like he's having a bad time in hell.
Do any of you watch Veep? None of you watch Veep?
No.
So Julie Louis-Dreyfus plays like the vice president, and she's being interviewed by this journalist who asks her, like, who, do you consider anybody true evil? And she's like, I don't really like to think about evil. I don't think people are really evil. And she gives this long, stupid answer, and then he's like, most people say Hitler, and she's like, oh yeah, well, put me down for Hitler. So good, dude. That show's gold.
Yeah, Hitler killed his dog before he and his wife killed themselves. So he also was a dog killer. Just another reason to hate that dude.
Yeah.
His beard.
Yeah, but we learned from
His beard.
His wife was his beard.
Yeah.
Oh. I was like, wait, it was the mustache.
All right.
Are we talking about the same?
Zach. You're up.
Zach, this is gonna take a while. What do you got?
Yeah, you should have been looking while we were riffing.
I'm ready.
Okay.
All right,
Taking Dunkirk
sweet.
again.
I'm gonna take.
He watched the movie while we were waiting for
Not
his
the
pick.
first scene, not the last scene, but the entire middle of Dunkirk. No, I'm joking. Okay. So my pick is going to be.
I'm ready.
Jesus Christ. I'm ready.
You're so ready.
You guys ready for this?
I'm ready.
I have to pick it. All right. No, I'm gonna save that till. Hang on a second.
God, dude.
Hang on a second.
Any new listeners,
I
we
love
just
this.
lost them.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I just haven't seen a ton of war movies. I'm just not like a war movie thing because like a lot of war movies are true stories, and I just don't like that.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Black Hawk Down
Son of a bitch.
with my dude Jules. And I'm going to go with the scene where the Black Hawk goes down and then they have to fucking fight it out on the ground.
That's the entire movie.
Yep. Shut the fuck up, man.
So
Technically, that one.
my wife called this one out, and she said she would take the dragging the bodies scene, which I don't know if that's like, it's not really fighting, but
that's just. I mean, that's evil. It just sucks because they're
I'm just
showing
saying
off the fact that
it's a scene and it's a war scene in the sense that like
it shows the horrors of war.
Yeah.
yeah
The Horrors of War?
yeah.
The horrors of
There's
war.
all-
Yeah, what's up? What's up, just soldier? What's up, GI?
You didn't know that they drug them through the red light district of Mogadishu.
Have some respect, my man.
Hello, whores. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
It's too much.
Oh boy.
So
Me love you long time, Jenna.
How did Forrest Gump
Get
he's
to
fighting
Mogadishu.
in Mogadishu?
This is my recurring joke now.
all right.
People are gonna be like, "Why is this Zach guy on the pod? Like, we want Carrie back."
All right. So
Scott, you get 2 picks.
we've gone into fantasy. Now it's going to sci-fi.
Okay, I know where you're going.
Final battle, Death Star, Star Wars.
Do you want to call what the actual name of the
Yeah, what is it? What is it? What is it, Scott? What is it? How do you spell it? Spell it right now.
Have you actually seen it?
And which film are we talking about?
Yeah.
Are you
Star
talking
Wars
about
Episode
Spaceballs?
4, when they destroy the Death Star and whatever the fuck, the Battle of whatever it's called. And it doesn't.
Put that down. Put Battle of whatever it's called.
Death Star
Danny's gonna appreciate that.
Death Star
good.
what?
Lieutenant Dan's gonna appreciate that.
that I don't know the name of it or what?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I don't know how big of a Star Wars fan he is. I've
he
never.
is.
Okay.
Really?
Dude, that's why Brad picked fucking Lord of the Rings. Your boy Danny's a fucking
I know.
sci-fi
No, I know
nerd.
he's like sci-fi. I just didn't know if he. I thought he might be.
He's
like
more
Star Wars.
fantasy than Star Wars.
It's Battle of Yavin, just so you know.
Battle
I-
of Yavin.
Yeah.
Yavin 4.
I saw. You know what?
It.
I did learn that today when I was looking at lists.
You were
and I
today
didn't even
years
write it down
old.
because I didn't think it fucking mattered. So
That's what the guy.
I'm not sure if that's the Star Wars I would have gone with. That's good.
Yavin Rosdale.
Star Wars cover band.
Oh God, that's good.
They play Bush songs in the style of the fucking Cantina band.
All right.
all right. The next one I'm going to go.
Tatooine.
I was trying. I was like, what rhymes with everything Zen? And I couldn't think of it, but
Tatooine and glycerine.
Yeah, that's perfect. Shit,
All right. So
beat me straight up.
I'm going to go back to more realistic film. One of the most amazing tracking shots that I've ever seen in a movie.
Oh shit! I know where you're going.
1917 movie came out a few years ago, and the scene where he's running through it's all one shot, and they're charging through, and
two famous trench runs. For
isn't the
Look at
entire movie one shot?
No,
I believe that's the case.
Yeah, it is one. It is
Well,
one.
But I know the part you're talking about.
but the
'cause
scene
it's
I'm
sick.
talking about is when he's running.
It's
in
the last scene in the movie. He's running across the trench.
But it is all one shot.
Put him down for the whole movie. It's one scene.
I put trench run, which is funny because Battle of Yavin, famous trench run.
Right.
So
What's crazy is when he starts.
I like me a trench.
You're deep in the trenches right now.
When he first starts running and he turns to his guys and he's like, "I was running."
Forrest Gump's everywhere. God damn, that guy's done so much in history.
I can't stop.
I'm pretty impressed by him.
Oh shit!
He finished. He's like, "I'm dizzy."
All right, Zach, you should be researching picks rather than doing Forrest Gump impressions. But
What? Is it my turn again?
It sure is. That's
This
how
is
this
some bullshit.
works.
It goes quick.
This is how it works.
I am going to go with the final scene from one of my favorite movies of all time with some of the best nude scenes of all time. And one of the most beautiful women of all time. And we're going to go with Starship Troopers, the final battle in Starship Troopers, which is a long one. Casper Van Dien is fucking people up, and they get on top of that big like fucking slug thing and put the bomb inside of it, and he blows up, and they're shooting all the fucking
That's not
all the
final
bugs
battle,
and shit.
but whatever.
Shut the fuck up, Scott. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm concerned here because I had Starship Troopers ready to be my third or fourth pick because I thought nobody's going to go there.
Yeah,
It's when they're defending like the little base is the right battle.
I think so,
that's
too.
the battle that's like where
It's
just
all one
aggressive.
battle. They
No, it's
come
not.
in, they land on the planet, they go in. It's like a long thing.
They find out in that little like base that everybody's been slaughtered, and then all of a sudden here comes the bugs attacking.
it's the ambush because they got
Yeah.
suckered in because the bug got in his brain and called in the.
I count it from when they land on that planet.
No. Then they have to they basically have to regroup, and then they finally do their counterattack.
Well, so here's my thing.
I like the first part better.
What he's talking about with him jumping on the back of the bug and shooting the hole and then throwing the grenade in it is
Yeah.
a different battle.
Right.
Oh, well, that's the one I want.
Okay. So
Just
that
put
other battle's
Starship
available.
Troopers. Put Starship Troopers. Don't pick it.
No. That's the one. Exactly what I'm talking about, where they defend the base.
So, but that's not the one he's talking about. The one he's talking about is a different battle. It's earlier in the movie.
When he shoots through.
When he jumps on the back of the beetle is a different one. That's when he becomes one of the squad leaders. He gets put in charge.
Oh, because
of
he
shit.
sees what's his name get chopped,
Right.
and then he like takes
And then
over.
afterwards, they all shower together.
Right.
And I count that.
You guys both
I
are
count that.
much more in tune with all of the details of Starship
It's a great
Troopers
fucking
It's a
than
great movie.
I believe you should.
It is a legit
It's so
classic.
good.
Paul Verhoeven.
I love
that.
Sure.
I mean, the same guy who did fucking Showgirls also put out a
Amazing.
crazy, like sarcastic alien movie.
You're right. I take it back. Okay,
But
let's,
Denise Richards just absolutely slaying it, and then Dina Meyer coming in with like just some epic shower.
What do I
scenes.
label? I need to label your fucking pick, and I can't figure out what to label it.
Starship Troopers battle scene that ends in the shower.
You want Bug? He drops the grenade in the bug. Danny will know. Lieutenant
bug.
Dan will know what that one is.
Yeah, bug bomb.
Starship Troopers. Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers.
The Extermination. All right, let's go. Brad, you up?
I thought that was all one battle, but I'll take it. I'll
No.
still take it.
There's a whole bunch of shit in between that, and there's like a stupid love story.
You fucker for
not
taking
stupid.
That. Pisses me off.
Just kidding.
God damn it.
Great
Saving
movie.
Private Ryan was just sitting there waiting as like nobody's taking that shit.
He's gonna chase a 22-year-old Denise Richards across the fucking galaxy, bro.
All right, so let's go ahead and take. This is actually an interesting one because this is maybe the most kind of almost modern, but it's fucked up, and they probably should have killed the sheep herders rather than letting them go. But once they let them go, they basically signed their own death warrants, and that would be Lone Survivor, the hillside battle when they get attacked.
With Mark Wahlberg?
Yes, sir.
That movie's weird.
That whole hill scene, that whole hillside battle.
I don't think there's enough
just
people involved,
fucked
is
up.
there?
That's
That's a battle.
it's a war scene. Yeah.
It's a war
I
scene.
mean, I'll let you take it, but I just wanted to give you shit because you suck.
I never saw it,
All right.
I actually saw that one.
but I've seen Starship Trooper 563 times.
Lone Survivor's just fucked up because you're like thinking. I mean, it's based on real situation and
Yeah.
and what they actually went through. It's not that far off from what actually happened.
You know why I haven't watched it? Because they spoiled the ending. There's only one guy that lives, apparently. There's only one survivor. So why am I going to watch it? I know like there's going to be one guy left. So I didn't want to watch it.
Hey guys.
So it's like watching La Bamba. It's like, you know how it ends.
All right. You know what? I'm making an executive decision here.
We kicking Scotch off the pod.
What the fuck would I say?
No, like I'm drafting for me.
Oh,
because I'm going to lose anyway.
This works every time.
Guys, it's
It
me.
loses. I lose anyway. It doesn't matter.
I don't like your attitude.
Nothing I do matters.
What are you going to draft?
What does this all mean?
You're going to draft the fight.
You have two
between-
really good start. You got a great
it
start.
sounds like somebody who has no wins talking.
It does.
You're going to do the
He's been
battle
beaten
between
down.
Professor Snape and his wife when he buys her that Joni Mitchell CD.
Bro, that's not
That's
bad.
a fucking battle.
Dude, quit fucking spoiling shit.
No, he's talking about Love Actually, dummy.
Oh well,
Come on, dude.
you brought up the Slytherin and Snape.
Oh, I hope you picked that because that's dog shit.
Okay.
All right, Nate, what is it?
Okay. I'm taking the final dogfight in Top Gun with my third pick.
Oh, wow. That's a pick.
I think that I love it, and I don't care that it's not the right pick.
Which Top Gun are you picking?
It was on my list.
The original Top Gun.
The original Top Gun, the final dogfight. Super.
It's just they kind of fuck him up too quick. Like it's like they pretty much dominate that fight, but it's still good. I like it. It's on my list.
Not very many people fighting in that fight. Okay. All right.
They're literally two warplanes.
Two. So there's
And
four
then there's a
people in the
third
battle.
one. There might be more. Wingmen. There's backseaters. Okay.
What war was this?
It's the war of
The
Eastern
worlds?
aggression. Okay. And then the second, my second on the wrap is going to be from the siege on the Ambo's compound in 13 hours.
Oh, with Jim Halpert,
The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi.
Bin Laden, I think is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the different movie.
It's 13 hours, correct?
13 hours, and it's the siege on the Ambo's compound.
Ron Howard? No, who did this?
No, it's I don't know.
Is it Peter Berg?
Should I know that? Do we need to? Or are you putting that down?
No, I was just
Are
trying
you
to
listing
think. Like,
directors, or are you just trying to make me look bad?
no, I'm
It feels
actually
to me.
curious.
It feels like you're kind of singling me out.
This
here.
is a conversational pod. We talk about movies. He's just asking who directed
you
it.
know
He's,
what?
he wants to know.
Who directed all the movies you're on? Yeah,
Oh,
let's
it's
go.
a Michael Bay movie. That's right.
Yeah, it's Michael Bay. That's what I said,
George Lucas, Steven
Talented.
Spielberg.
Was there any explosions?
The guy that did that.
bro. There's some good. There's some serious heavy artillery going on.
Explode
fire. I love
All
it.
right.
All right, Brad.
I get to finish this off. Okay. Isn't that the whole movie though is kind of
Of which movie?
13 hours? I
You
mean,
legitimately have you not seen it? There's so much downtime in that movie. It's so intense, bro.
are you talking about when they
13
finally
hours,
attack
bro.
at the very end?
No, I'm talking about when they take on they overrun the ambassador's compound.
I know
And-
what happened in Benghazi. I'm just saying, like in the movie,
That's
isn't
not-
the whole movie is just the whole thing, right?
No, dude, have you seen the movie? Are
have
you
not.
talking to?
I know what
talking
happened in
about right
Benghazi
now?
though is like there was like multiple attacks and they finally
I know
broke
what happened in
through.
the Civil War. Do you want to tell me all? Should I tell you all about the scenes in?
So
in
what's
Glory?
is this? Is it, you're saying this is one specific scene?
Who played Hillary Clinton?
No, dude, I'm taking the whole thing.
Because the siege isn't really battle; they're just like sitting there.
Okay, I'm just going to recount it. Spoiler alert.
There was a lot of downtime.
In the movie, there's a compound that the ambassador is staying at. It gets fucking attacked and overrun. The dudes at the CIA compound, who are the special forces guys, go to the Ambo's compound to try to save him, battle a bunch of dudes, and then exit back to the CIA compound. That's like the middle act of the movie.
Which one's Jim Halpert?
Okay.
He's one of the secret soldiers of Benghazi.
Who plays Hillary Clinton?
So I think it's Heather Graham.
Because it kept cutting back to her and she
Heather
wasn't doing
Graham?
anything. I heard she didn't do anything.
Well, she's naked most of the movie.
Oh shit! And it's Heather Graham.
A naked Hillary Clinton.
Well, it makes sense. I don't think Heather Graham has been in a movie she doesn't get nude in for a long time.
Right. Oh, gosh.
I'll be your Secretary of State.
What's the dude's name? The
Secretary.
crazy one that goes on Joe Rogan all the time. That he's got his own podcast and he's nuts. Alex. What's his name?
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones. Who plays Alex Jones in 13 Hours?
I think it's the guy
Mark Wahlberg.
No, it's Kevin James for sure.
Kevin James. Yeah. Dude, I still can't believe that you're like challenging for a movie that you haven't seen based on the fact that you know the basic political history of the event.
Well,
What
I'm just
the
saying,
fuck
like,
are you talking about?
scene is Siege on Ambo's compound going to be enough of a
Did you hear what he said?
description?
Did you hear what he said? Did you hear when he called your history knowledge basic? Did you hear that?
Whatever. I'm a basic.
Basically,
bitch.
called
You are
you
a basic bitch.
called you
This
a
is insane.
bitch.
I don't know what's happening right now.
What do you think you are, a history teacher, bitch?
All right, damn it. Now I'm really trying to like win this, so I'm going to try to figure out what I think is going to be the correct one.
need to
And
try
there's
a little
some
harder.
great ones here. I don't know if he's seen that. I like this one. There's my heart one, but I'm not going to go with that.
The battle for Harry Potter's pubes.
All right, here's where we're going. And I don't know if he's seen this. I don't know if he likes it. The Brits are retreating from Fort William Henry. And the French said, all right, y'all can retreat. That's cool. They had a little deal. But when they start retreating, they didn't realize that those natives out there weren't too happy with the retreat. And so they came in full force. In Last of the Mohicans, that's the ambush after retreat from Fort William Henry. And shit just goes bad.
Yeah, that's a brutal battle.
I thought about that one. That was the one I was going to take if I cared about anything, but I don't care about anything. So
Like
It's been so long
when
since I've seen that
he
movie.
cuts out the heart of the dude and holds it up, and then
And he's like, Kalima!
he's like Kalima.
Kalima. Forrest Gump is ripping out hearts. Damn it.
Callie Mama always said that life was like a box of chocolates.
That's too much. That's too much. That's too far.
Sorry, I take it back.
Oh, man.
Is it my pick next? Because I got my pick ready.
Yeah. I think it is. Yeah. It's your final pick.
Oh, I remembered what it was on the last pod that I wasn't here for that made me laugh. It was the pissing up the leg. That shit had me laughing, dude.
I'm still not convinced that that's not a sign.
Okay, so no, I got to just show you a text real quick. Our buddy from The Real Drunks, Matt Marlowe, says the saying is pissing up a rope.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He says it's kind of like saying fuck that guy. He can piss up a rope. And I was like, what was that mean? He's like they're pissing all over themselves. Imagine standing under a rope trying to piss up it. It's going to come back down on your face.
I'm going to tell you, Matt, right now, I don't think that's what it is.
I still literally, I realize, I like double confirmed. I say, go piss up that guy's leg all the time. I thought it was
I think pissing up a rope sounds right though. Like,
Well,
I feel like I've heard that
I
before.
said that the band Ween has a song called "Piss Up a Rope," and that's what I heard. I said it on the
Yeah,
pod.
it's basically fuck that guy.
You
So,
said that?
I did.
You did.
It might have been on the one that Brett edited it out.
But you would use that.
No, I believe you did. You did say that.
But you would use that the term. You would say like that guy can go piss up a rope.
Mm-hmm.
I would say something like, well, I'm not going to go piss up that guy's leg, which is like I'm not going to go basically just be irritating to
Waste
him.
this time.
No, it's not waste time. It's like I'm not going to go just kind of like antagonize him just to antagonize him.
I don't think you realize how many people are into getting pissed on.
I'm not going to go piss up that guy's leg unless he wants me to.
All right, I'm going to piss on Scott's leg, and I'm going to go with the correct pick from the Star Wars universe, and that is going to be from Return of the Jedi, The Battle for Endor.
Oh, so this one I had trouble with because there's three kind of things happening all at once.
I know, and I'm not even talking about. I'm not talking about Luke and Darth. Nope, I don't need that. I'm talking about the shit that happens on Endor with freaking them taking the shield out and all the fucking AT-ATs and the Ewoks and all that shit. That's my pick.
And I don't think that's the right battle. I don't even know. I thought mine was the one that would be the most.
It's always been my favorite.
Should be the
Star
top.
Wars movie.
My most memorable was actually another one that I almost picked again. I'm not going to do it now. I'm thinking about going double Star Wars, but I don't think I can do it.
That'd be awesome. But no, the Endor when dude, like the little Ewok gets blown up and he goes over to grab his friend and like he drags him and he realizes
That was brutal.
He's dead.
That was brutal.
Damn, that hit me hard.
When
as
they're
a little
freaking
kid.
booby traps that like come in and like fuck their thing up, dude. It's fucking awesome.
It's fun. It's good times.
All right. Have no idea if Lieutenant Dan likes these movies or not.
I feel like you're losing this draft, just so you know.
I don't care. I've got enough wins.
So go balls out. Go balls out with your last pick.
But this was
Testes out.
I love all these movies. They're super fun, and there's a couple different ones that I could go with here, but I'm going to go with. There's a little thing called the Infinity War.
Oh my God!
And
I thought we had an agreement on this pod that we don't do Marvel stuff.
Is that an agreement?
No, for
Right.
me.
It's just polite. It's being polite.
It's just for me, Scott.
Dude, that shit was fucking fun in the movie. And then he snaps and fucking half the universe disappears. And it's fucking brutal. And like all these characters are.
Is that the part where
Wait, which part are you taking here?
where
The
Robert
Infinity
Downey
War.
Jr. dies?
When he the snap battle. That last battle when they're attacking.
Does Robert Downey Jr. die?
No, not that's Endgame.
Does Spider-Man die?
Was Infinity War or was it Endgame? Which one was the last one?
I haven't seen it.
I thought Infinity War was the last one.
Well, the whole thing is the Infinity War, but the Avengers Infinity War was the first one where he snaps, and then Endgame is one where they all come back. And they have the big, huge battle at the very end. I'm picking the one where they snaps.
I don't know.
Which
That's
could be the wrong
confusing
pick,
as fuck.
but that's the one that affected me.
I'm not going to say it's the wrong pick because I haven't seen that movie, just out of principles. But I think that our target audience of 14-year-old boys are going to be behind this.
But you're taking Avengers in Infinity War.
Yeah.
But I mean,
snap battle.
Okay, wait, but isn't that the whole movie? It's called Infinity War. Like I know what happened in the Infinity War.
But there's a battle at the end.
You know what happened?
Where they
Yeah,
they attack Wakanda.
I've read about the Infinity War, so I mean, it's got to be the whole movie, right?
It's
The purple guy.
No. Shut up. Shut your dirty mouth over there.
It's called Infinity War.
Purple Drink?
When they attack.
Why are you not
Wakanda.
taking Endgame Avengers Assemble when they all fucking start
when
fucking
they
up
attack
Thanos?
Wakanda, now we're...
I don't know. I thought the snap was more memorable for me.
You're crazy.
I know.
I for sure thought you were taking Avengers Assemble, like when the fucking hammer comes flying back to them and they just start fucking up Thanos.
This is literally like having two people speak Russian on the pod. I'm like, I don't.
My kids jumped me into the universe. Sorry.
You've been jumped in.
jumped in, got initiated. Yeah, don't look at my ass. I got a nice little Avengers tat.
All right.
Again, don't look at my ass again.
Is that what you're calling it?
I wanted the scene from Winter's Mountain Claw, The Return.
Winter's Mountain Claw.
Where the Jubinator and Thakrin comes from the other dimension.
I remember that. That was great.
Dude, the part when vasectomy comes out and fucks that guy up.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, that part's dope.
Uvula! And then Forrest Gump shows up. He's like,
Jenny.
I'm a superhero.
Wakanda forever.
Oh, no. Well, hey, this draft is over. We are done, but now we got to send off our results to Lieutenant Dan. He guessed it on the training day episode, and it's actually, I still think, our most listened to episode.
Yeah.
He also guessed it last week, just FYI.
He also
I don't know if you remember that.
He also said a little bit about Saving Private Ryan and told us a little bit about his military exploits. And yeah, he's going to judge us.
Do you not listen to the pod, Brad?
I know. I might host this thing sometimes.
That's what I said. Let's go.
All right, folks. We'll see you in just a little bit.
I can't tolerate nuance. Welcome to Opinionated Movie Reviews.
I like that. I like that name. That's a good name.
That sounds like someone who boofs. We're a bunch of assholes.
I know that you can't poop above your ass.
You don't? Have you ever tried?
Yeah.
We like to talk about movies. It's because I enjoy hanging out with my friends, not because I want to watch the movie. Find weekly episodes on Spotify and opinionatedpodcast.com. For all of you listening with your 5-year-olds, I'm so sorry. I'm not.
Metrics, YouTube assist. Gonna point out all the shit that we missed. It's the draft judge, crushing dreams once again.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Here we go. It's time to have our draft judge decide who's going to get the big W for this V for victory in our most memorable war scenes draft. And we are super happy, super excited. And we talked about this last week, but I mean, this is the the guy who is on he was our guest on our most listened to podcast of all time. Mm-hmm. That was the Training Day episode. We have Lieutenant Dan back here again to judge us after joining us last week for Saving Private Ryan. Lieutenant Dan, how you doing, sir?
Good, guys. How's everybody doing?
We're doing awesome. How you guys doing?
Dan, do we think that people love Training Day, or do they love Lieutenant Dan?
I mean, I like to think they love Lieutenant Dan, but because Training Day, you know what? I got to say, after our last review, I don't know that it held up all that well. I said it on my review, but it was a great movie. But watching it again.
Yeah, you took it to task after having all the police knowledge that you do have, for sure.
I think they just like.
Oh, and I was so excited about it, but yeah.
I think they just like to hear about my budding police career.
That's what it was.
That's what it is. Yep.
That's true. Forgot about that.
And now Lieutenant Dan's moved on, and now I have to find someone else to do my new ride along fanboy thing.
They don't.
You can still ride along where I'm at, but
I know.
It's a little bit further away.
Well, it's further, and the most exciting thing that happens there is that somebody is public indecency, which, don't get me wrong, I'm here for that. I'm here for that.
Yeah, I mean that's. Do they put that on the signs in your area? Do they say like, "Hey, come here for awesome public nudity and sunbathing"?
I don't think so, but I do have to say, when Nate went on a 1 hour ride along with me, that was the most excited part that we were looking forward to.
Let's be clear.
He's told us about that guy's dick like 10 times already.
Let's be clear here. Brad and I both were along, and we both just absolutely admonished Lieutenant Dan for going down and stopping the public nudity.
All right, so we are here to talk about the most memorable war scenes. We've drafted and we sent the list over to Lieutenant Dan, and you've looked over it. And so my first question to you is, how many of these movies were you familiar with? Because you are a big, as we talked about last week, you're military, and you definitely love war movies. So how many of these 16 picks had you seen before?
So I don't actually watch a lot of movies, especially nowadays, I don't feel like, but I've seen all of these, and I was immediately familiar with all of them. Like, as soon as I read it, every one of them brought back, like, cool, vivid memories of, like, oh, that scene, I know what he's talking about there. Every one of them. And brought back different memories for different times in my life. Like, one of them on here that is kind of, I'm going to ruin this a little bit, kind of a stupid war scene, really, but when I remembered it, had such fond memories, was that Starship Troopers. Like, that was such a cool, when I was in high school, awesome scene. I haven't seen Starship Troopers in a while, but even thinking back, I was like, that's probably not the best movie scene. It was
that one holds
when
up,
I was
Dan.
a kid, 20 years ago. That would have been on my list for sure.
It's still a pretty crazy movie to watch.
So what were the criteria you used to actually like come up with a 1 through 4 ranking?
I kind of was all over the place, and then I kind of just settled on. The one I picked, the reason I picked it is I feel like it's kind of the best scenes depicting what I guess would be, I mean, I've never been in war, but I would guess would be the most accurate representation where they were actually trying to capture the feel as opposed to going to, just for the blood and guts or a lot of action scenes. One thing that I hate in war movies now, and it drives me insane, which I hate to even say it, because one of my favorite movies of all time is Rambo First Blood. Love that damn movie. Mm-hmm. But when anybody goes to the hip fire in war scenes, whenever they drop down their automatic weapon to the hip and just start shooting, and it just spraying back and forth, the same movement every time, side to side, I immediately just am just repulsed by it almost now. And for the 80s and 90s, and my boy Stallone, like, he made that. That was in every movie he did. And I've tried that. You can't hit anything. You cannot hit anything. It's so uncomfortable.
I tried that. There was nudists running all over the place. Lieutenant Dan was shooting from the hip.
There's rocks exploding.
Indiscriminate. And they still go back to that sometimes in movies.
Anybody who shot a gun has tried that at some point. If you're out of range, you've definitely done so. Yeah,
and there's YouTube videos that show like the physics of it, and like, I mean, the speed of the bullets, and like just the angles and stuff. How you're not going to even get anywhere near the target that you're hoping to hit when you're shooting from the hip. Absolutely.
And my thing is, it's so uncomfortable when you try it. It's so unnatural feeling. Right. It just is. There's nothing good about it, but
that's why I like to. That's why I like to. If I'm going to hold it waist high, I like to just brace it against my dick.
he's just kind of humping each bullet out like a pelvic thrust for each shot.
It's 2 for 1 because it's more accurate and the kickback feels good. You know,
Nate pulls the trigger with his foreskin.
Nate, I know you have dreams of being in law enforcement, but every time I talk to you, I think you ended up in the right field.
You're saying I sound like a professional podcaster?
Yeah.
You know what? It's not too late, Dan. Okay, I hear there's a new recruiting class coming.
Oh man!
All right, so
But then,
okay, wait. So
the criteria for.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say. So you said the one you picked. So you have like a clear number 1. Do you have a clear ranking?
Clear number 1.
Do you have a? What about rankings 2 through 4? Do you have a clear like way to distinguish between those?
I think so. My number 2 pick that didn't get first actually has my favorite battle scene in here. But my number 1 pick overall, just all of them, I liked every scene. And then my number 3 pick, I think every one of them was good and solid. And my number 1 pick just kind of had 1 or 2 good ones, but my least favorite.
All right. So do you have a numerical ranking, or is it you just kind of like this is my order? I mean, like do they have scores, or are they just kind of like by feel?
I guess they're just by feel. You're getting really in depth to this. I guess I just have 1, 2, 3, and 4.
All right.
By feel.
You know what?
That's how Nate shoots.
Yeah.
By feel.
The cool thing about BVK is that we've had numerous judges on here, and they each have their own kind of scoring ideas, and some are by heart, some by feel, some by scores, and some of them get just crazy into the numbers and points and spreadsheets and bonus points. So.
I can't wait until Dan's like, it's the one that would be the most like real war, and then the Patini picks is like 4 sci-fi movies.
that might be the case, because you also a sci-fi fantasy guy. You like a lot of those types of movies as well. So
yeah.
I think anybody that picked sci-fi fantasy was probably doing okay here.
That's what it would be like if you owned a spaceship. Okay. All right.
So what I'm hearing is I should have picked a more wizard focused team is what I'm hearing. Okay. All right.
So what do we want? We want to tell them which team was the fourth ranked.
We're going to go ahead and start with fourth, Lieutenant Dan, and you're going to say the 4th place team. I will read the names and the movies, and then you can go ahead and just give your thoughts on it. You can kind of go through each movie, your thoughts, your feelings, and we'll go from there. So, 4th place team.
4th place team was Team 1.
Team 1.
Oh my God.
Team 1 includes the Saving Private Ryan Omaha Beach scene. Battle of Yavin, Star Wars: A New Hope, 1917, The Trench Run, and Avengers: Infinity War: The Snap Battle.
I think you lost it with Avengers: Infinity War. Am I right, Dan?
I think that was the only right pick.
So this is the last place, right?
Yes, this is last place, and we're
so why I ended up here? Started off really strong. Saving Private Ryan, Omaha Beach scene, very, very iconic. War scene, probably one of the most iconic in our generation for sure, I'd say, and really well filmed, I thought. Really, really good. And they tried to capture everything about it. So great scene, but then it went from there to Star Wars: A New Hope.
Dan, would you agree that that Saving Private Ryan, that's the overall number 1? Like, if you were drafting, would you take that number 1?
No.
For a war scene,
Dan's taking Stallone.
All here on here, it would be top 3. There's one other one I don't want to say just yet that I think is maybe my favorite.
So it's not your
really,
overall
really,
number 1.
really good,
but close. Okay.
Yeah, not my overall number 1, but very, very good.
All right, Star Wars: A New Hope.
Then it went to Star Wars: A New Hope. Like, come on, man,
it's one of the most memorable war scenes ever, man.
It's a war. It's the rebels versus the Empire. There's a war going on.
It just I guess it's cool, but it almost reminds me of those Star Wars ones, and I love Star Wars. I watch the heck out of it. I think it's going a little bit downhill now, but I do like Star Wars. But it reminds me almost of those G.I. Joe cartoons where like they're shooting at the dirt 3 feet in front of each other. It's just there's nothing. And, Star Wars is almost... They're trying to fix it now with The Mandalorian and stuff, but they're almost like where everybody wears armor, but it does shit too. Just everything about the Star Wars stuff, it just seems very crazy far-fetched.
Stormtroopers are maybe the worst combatants ever. Their armor does nothing for them, and they miss every shot they ever take.
Right.
And they hip fire everything. So, but I do love it. But it was most memorable. Can't speak. Sorry, war scenes, and I just don't think it was a good war scene.
All right.
Trench Run, 1917. I saw that recently, and I actually thought that was pretty damn good. But is it my most memorable or anybody's most memorable? I don't think so. I think it was just good, well done. Wasn't one of my favorite. And then Avengers. This is the one that sealed you at number 4. Whoever picked this one.
Yeah.
And dude, I am a Marvel. Out of everybody on here, I'll bet I am the biggest Marvel fanboy there is.
I'll bet that's true.
Did he needed to go with
Should I go
Endgame? The final battle in Endgame would have been better, right?
Well, Final Battle of Endgame would have been much, much better. But correct me if I'm wrong, you do the Snap War here, or the Snap Battle, and that's not a war scene at all. That's just a fight, That would be like if somebody said, it was 5 people on 5 people, the Snap Battle, but the Infinity War, the last one, either way, whatever one it is.
It was when they attacked Wakanda and they broke through the shield, and then that all the creatures. Yeah, so that was the battle.
Got you.
That's not the end game battle.
Okay. Now that you've changed that, that's going to move you up to 4th place.
I
Good
know.
job.
Yeah,
It's still, cool, very cinematically awesome. Love watching it. But yeah, not my most memorable war scene. So that was my 4th place.
and just so you know, Scotchback, he did win last week, and he has the most wins so far this season. But when he doesn't have his hand-selected judges, it makes it a little bit tougher. for him.
You know what? This is I don't even care what happens at this point.
Yeah, I'm
just so happy. That's
great.
Scotchback
That's so good.
is in
Scotch
the
gets to
top
look
10.
at our shit-eating grins for the rest of the pod.
Infinitieth place. You know what I'm saying? All right. What's the 3rd place team?
Let's go 3rd place now. Who was your 3rd place?
So
finisher?
3rd place is Team 2.
Team 2 includes the Gladiator opening battle, Black Hawk Down, Black Hawk Goes Down, Starship Troopers, Casper Van Diem, Grenading the Big Bug, and Battle of Endor, Star Wars, Return of the Jedi.
I went wrong in a couple places, and I think because I said in the beginning, I was like, I don't know how into any of this shit Lieutenant Dan's going to be, and I was right, so it worked out perfect. I think Lieutenant Dan, when he was 17, might have picked my team, but I think
I think so.
Yeah,
I think you're right. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, you
Well,
saved
every
me from
one of
picking
those-
Starship Troopers. That's so awesome.
Every one of those is our high school for the most of us, most of our age, if I'm judging it right, is,
Yeah.
high school a couple years after.
Yeah.
So this would have been very iconic for us at the time. I mean, shit, I probably went into the service because of some of the Starship Troopers. When they said,
yeah.
"We need you," I was probably like, "Here we go, I'm coming." Remember they did those recruitment ads and the thing?
Yeah.
When you
that
showed
was
up,
all for me.
When you showed up to boot camp, Dan, were you like, "Where's fucking Denise Richards?" What's going on?
Yeah, this is not what I was promised.
We do have the communal showers, right?
Co-ed
They
showers.
didn't. So yes,
Black Hawk
20
Down.
years ago. What's that?
So what about Black Hawk Down? The Black Hawk
Liked it a lot. Black Dog Down was great. Again, I don't know if I'd say it's the most memorable war scene because that was a company, I believe. It was more of a company holding off. So I tried to take it into more like war scene, but I have nothing negative to say about that. I think it was very well done. It was a very good adaptation of the book, which was an adaptation of true events. I mean, I wasn't there, but it seems like, and from what everybody's saying, just very well done. A lot of emotion throughout of it, You really get the sense of heroes in it, which is excellent. I really liked it. Don't have anything negative to say. It just couldn't. The Starship Troopers, cool, but you couldn't hold up the Starship Troopers. Gladiator, the opening battle, that was a lot of fun. But that's the best I'd say for it. A lot of fun, very cool. I thought even the opening scene for Gladiator, a lot of fun, cool to watch. There wasn't much emotion in it for me because it was just more of a lot of fun. The movie had a lot of connection and emotion to the guy, but I don't know about that opening scene. And then Star Wars. We already talked about Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I'm gonna love watching all of them. But again,
Dan, what if I would have picked the entire movie of
Dunkirk?
The entire movie of Dunkirk. Have you seen Dunkirk? It's like one big.
Is that the one where at the
2.5
end?
hours?
Yeah, the end is.
Yeah, is Dunkirk the one at the end where he crashes the plane?
Yeah, he
the
lands
beach
on the beach and then he gets captured.
Yeah,
he wakes up.
That was
and
a
it's all
very
dream.
I think that was an extremely underrated movie, actually, because I really enjoyed it, and you don't hear anything about it. So I think that would have helped it. There's 2 scenes that aren't on any of these lists that I'll bring up at the end, I guess.
We'll mention those also. Between the Star Wars picks, between Battle of Yavin, Star Wars New Hope, and Battle of Endor, Star Wars Return of the Jedi, which one's your favorite? Which one do you think is
of course,
more
Return
memorable?
of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi, I'd say, just because it's more iconic for me.
And because like the Ewok fighting is super realistic.
Yep.
Like, have you ever seen an Ewok fight?
Yeah.
No. And they're so worthless. Like, who would want those guys? First of all, it's in the future, and everybody has laser guns that are
in the past.
pretty ineffective.
A long time ago.
Yeah, there you go. But then they have all this technology, and all of a sudden, there's these hairy, furry little midget guys, that have staves, and they're like, "All right, guys, you're gonna be this wing over here with your slings and your staves," and and they did take down that at thing. That was really cool with the two
the
tree logs. Yeah,
all I'm saying is it's a good thing that the fucking right side won on that, because I think there's going to be a lot of Ewoks getting raped by stormtroopers if that doesn't go that way. I think
that was
it
was cool,
because that was a long time ago. That's the origin of furries.
Boy!
If you guys didn't know.
All right, Dan. I want to set the scene for you here, because this is again whoever wins here, this is going to be actually kind of groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Either I'm going to win from a position that has never won a draft this year.
Third pick.
Well, spoil it.
Am I not supposed to say that? Oh, shit.
Or Nate's going to get his first win of this year. He's the only draftee to not win so far this year.
I don't feel good about this.
And now we're going to find out.
Two of my picks,
so two of my picks
are not what he would consider war scenes, and so
I don't know. We're going to find out here.
So I think, let me say this. I think it's Brad's. When I read it, I thought this is Brad's list, but I could be wrong.
Shit.
So do I say who my number one is?
No. Say who your number two is.
Who your number two? Who's the second place team? And
okay, second place is Team 3.
Yes!
Oh, I got it wrong. Yes! I thought my favorite was yours, Brad.
Yes. You guys all eat it. Eat it. You eat it.
So my second place is Team 3. Lord of the Rings.
Hold on. Yeah, let me see. Team 3, Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, Battle of Helm's Deep, Ride of the Valkyries, Apocalypse Now, Lone Survivor, Hillside Battle, Ambush from Fort William Henry, from The Last of the Mohicans. I don't even care about this draft.
Remember where I said my favorite battle in here didn't get number one? That Lord of the Rings is probably my favorite battle in this of all these selected.
That might have been your number one pick. That
would have been my number one battle. Okay. I loved it. I loved it because at that point it is fantasy, but you were very connected to all the characters. I thought they tried, even though it was fantasy, they tried to set it up with a balance where they weren't just Ewoks running around with slings. Everybody had a unique weapon or style that they were doing. There was the horse rider cavalry, which were great. The dwarves were more armored. The elves were more limber and agile. It just was cool balance, and they portrayed it all well. And it holds up really well to this. I just rewatched this recently. It still looks great.
Yeah,
and
for all the CGI they use, it looks pretty badass.
I thought it looks great. So that was a great scene. Apocalypse Now. I watch this probably once every 2 years. I love the movie. I'm not crazy about any of the fight scenes. Apocalypse Now to me is a great movie for characters. I think Apocalypse. When was it made? Like 79 or 80 or so.
8 or 9. Yeah.
I think Apocalypse Now set the stage for. I think it was 10 years ahead of its time. For like in the 90s, where everybody did the character movies.
Platoon
every single person in Apocalypse Now had deep character. I still remember when I was a kid watching it, and they're walking through the jungle at one point, and the guy's like, "I'm going to be a sauceur." And I'm like, "What the hell is a sauceur?" And he explains he's going to go back to France and make sauces for dinners.
Yeah.
And he was just a nothing character in this movie. Everybody in that movie was a person with deep history and everything, which I thought was awesome for a war movie. But the battle scenes, again, were a little bit... they were like The Deer Hunter, if you ever remember that movie. Just kind of...
When that song comes on, though, how memorable are we talking when that song comes on and those helicopters just start raining down hell on that village?
It is cool. It is cool, but the whole movie, even the battle scenes, were a way to explain the characters, I guess you'd say.
What about Lone Survivor? This was the most modern... Oh, no, actually, okay, never mind. 13 Hours was, but Lone Survivor, pretty modern combat. What did you think of that?
Yeah, and very good. And again, I talk about it a lot. I think a good war scene we're going to be very vested and have a strong emotional attachment. Probably one of the strongest emotional attachments on this list, where you're just very much like, oh my God, what is happening here? So really, really good. I just didn't think it was one of the most iconic war scenes. Again, I guess maybe I'm splitting hairs on this, but I was kind of like, that's more of a fight scene or more of a struggle or a skirmish.
Agreed.
But I'm looking for a war scene. I'm looking for a war scene. And then Ambush of Fort Wayne, Henry, the Last of the Mohicans. That was pretty dang good too. I think we've talked about this before, and I'm surprised you picked this. I didn't like Last of the Mohicans really at all, and I've had to rewatch it a couple times because everybody's like, "Oh, it's so great." And I could have swore last time you were at my house I told you that. So I'm surprised. See, Brad, if you were paying attention, you probably would have got first place.
But you listened to him instead of just thinking about what you're going to say next.
And I was thinking about going back to the bridge. So,
all right. Enough of the drags.
All right. Our first place team, and with his first victory of the season, that's Team 4 with the Battle of Stirling, Braveheart, the Battle of Thermopylae, 300, Top Gun, the final jet battle, and Siege on the Ambos compound, 13 hours.
I think I'm going to quit. I'm just going to pick. I don't even care anymore.
He's doing an impression of Nate before the draft.
That's exactly
Nate
what he was saying.
I think I'm going to quit.
Does anybody have any grenadine?
I know. We need
I'm sure
somebody needs a bottle of grenadine right now.
Scotch needs to just suck it down.
Suck it
down like a fourth place loser. All right,
Man,
Dan.
I gotta say,
let's
Nate,
go do that.
Great picks.
Thank
Every
you.
one of them.
Thank you.
Immediately, I was like, "Oh yeah, that was." I remember that scene, and that was awesome. Some of them over the top, but still just had that strong connection where you're. They had a sense of too. I think what's an important piece for all the battle scenes is what's the term I'm looking for? But loss. You know what I mean? Like not all the heroes are gonna live like on all the Star Wars or the Marvel movies. You know what I mean? The good guys are going to suffer loss, extreme loss. A couple good examples here is Battle of Thermopylae, right? Over the top, based on a true story, but over the top. But man, when the guy's there with his son, and his son dies, and then he dies soon after, and then all of them are going to die. They all go there knowing they're going to die, but they're doing it for their duty, which I think is a big part of military. From my point of view, knowing that I'm going to do my duty, whatever happens here, this is what we're going to do because we have to. And not a lot of movies capture that. Not a lot of film captures that. I think it's something that's really hard to capture. And I think as we get older, it's harder to capture too, because when you're older, you're going to be more like, fuck that, no way. When you're 18, 19, 20 years old, you can, go that direction.
There's a reason. There's a reason those are the guys that they want for the military.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's a reason I did when I was 18. If I did it now, I'd be, fuck no, I'm not doing this. It's crazy.
Some guy yelling in your face, like, get down, maggot. You're like, bro, who are you?
No, it's not happening now. Braveheart, same thing. The whole movie just gripping. The whole movie, you're rooting for a guy that is probably going to lose, but he's and he knows he's probably going to lose, but he's fighting because he knows this is what needs to be fought for. So every scene is that moment of desperation. When's he going to lose? He probably can't capture a nation, but he can. What is he saying? He can capture the minds and the hearts of the people, which he does. Top Gun, again, I love that. This one would be more of a skirmish, so it kind of goes against what I'm saying, but it did go with that. This is our duty, this is our obligation, and it's in an air battle. How much can you capture a whole war scene in an air battle? There just wasn't, most air battles are going to, well, this one didn't even happen. There hasn't been air battles since World War II.
Matt has the most kills.
All 6 of the people involved in that fight were really into it, so I get it.
Yeah.
You know how much those planes cost, Zach?
$6 million.
Millions.
That was 1997 money too.
That's war, bro.
1985 money.
1985 money.
I don't want to. Let's not sleep on 13 hours.
Like
I want to see. I want to know what you
13
think about
hours.
13
What do you think about that? Did you know what scene he was talking about when he mentioned that?
No, I don't know that I did. Siege on Ambrose. That was the beginning part, right?
Yeah, it's where all the guys they go try to rescue the ambassador. So they leave their compound. Yeah.
So I just took, when he said when he put 13 hours, I kind of just took in the whole movie is what I was rating for it. And again, this one, there was another one on here, Lone Survivor, which was very close to the Siege, which I'd consider the two about equal. It really captured your emotion. I'd say even Lone Survivor probably captured emotion even a little bit better than 13 hours. But same idea, same thought process. And it goes back to, again, they had a duty, they had a sense of obligation of what they were going to fulfill, knowing that. I mean, how many people in this world really are going to say, this is what I'm going to do. It's probably going to cost me everything, including my life, but this is what my job is, and I'm going to do this, and I'll probably die because of it. That is, I think it's more rare now than it's ever been, but it's always been rare. So anytime you see that, especially where it's a true story, I think it means a lot, and we should kind of treat it with respect, I guess, too. So great movie, all of them great movies. That's where I get the first pick. And I have 2 honorable mentions that weren't on here.
All right, hold on.
All right,
hold that thought, because we have a theme
we got a little
for that.
song for you, and then we'll start hearing from you in just a second.
How the fuck could we miss that one? I just don't understand. It's our also ran. You idiots.
All right, so it is time for Also Rans, and Lieutenant Dan, you are excited to mention a couple of yours that did not get chosen, and I am excited to hear what they are. So what do you got? What are 2 of those that we did not hit up that you wanted to hear?
One was the final battle in Platoon.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great scene. Really good how it portrayed I think, probably the best part about that, I thought, is the chaos that just ensued. Just absolute chaos. And I don't know who directed it, but they did a good job capturing that. Everybody was just, there you go. Everybody was just terrified and trying to survive for a few minutes, that seemed like an eternity, and trying to look out, even though they didn't like each other. Most people were trying to look out for each other, and great scene.
And then, of course, Elias running back into the fray, and all of a sudden they're like, and when they start trying to just hold everybody off for Elias, it's goddamn, that's heart-wrenching.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, great movie. My next one is another one of those I feel like got a lot of fame when it came out and then was kind of forgotten, but We Were Soldiers Once and Young. And great couple of scenes where, they were really trying to look out for each other and hold off tremendous numbers, and did a great job. And again, I thought the characters in that one was really good, especially since they're based on real people. Sam Elliott was the sergeant major, and Mel Gibson was the colonel.
Right.
And over the top people, but if you ever read the book, they were over the top in real life. They were kind of just eccentric.
Was that the one where one guy got his legs all burned and they grabbed him as the flesh came off his legs? Because that's one thing I remember about that war scene was one guy got all fucked up and burned, and they grabbed it, and it was the grossest thing I think I've ever seen in a movie that wasn't a horror movie. It was so nasty and so realistic. I thought it was that movie, but I couldn't remember.
I think, was that where he was dead or he lived?
I think he was alive. That was the part, they were trying to save him, and his flesh came off his legs when they grabbed him. So it was nasty.
It might have been because there was a white phosphorus scene where they dropped a bunch of white phosphorus.
Yep.
I can't say it, but dropped that on him and it burned the guys real bad. One fell on a guy's cheek and it melted in.
Yeah, it was so brutal, so bad.
All right, Dan, we're going to throw a few at you, and you can kind of just tell us that would have improved our teams or it doesn't do anything for you. So I'll start here. Did you ever see Zulu, the final attack on Rourke's Drift, where the British soldiers, where they kind of line up and they just start basically just finishing off a bunch of Zulu warriors as they've been attacked?
I have seen that.
I thought that was pretty good.
Great movie. So my comments on it, I thought that was excellent. So what I really liked about those is where you find, we see it in history all the time, but when there's a technological jump, and there's just nothing you can do about it. Numbers don't matter. Nothing matters. The Zulu warriors were very brave, very, very good at what they did, but they were trying to use intimidation factors. They were like, all right, pound your shields and it's going to scare them. And these guys with guns what the fuck? All right, I guess I'm going to shoot you. That's like when we have all, Independence Day or something, we have all these movies about aliens attack. God, I hope not, because we're just fucked. There's going to be this big gap where it's not going to be a fight. We just lose.
So this is whose hardcore history is Dan
Carlin.
So Dan Carlin, I don't know if have you ever listened to Hardcore History, Dan?
I think I have, but if I have one or two episodes, that would have been.
So they have a 5-parter. He does a lot of great podcasts on different parts of history, and you would really like it, but. There's a 5-parter, I think, or 6-parter on World War I, and his I think one of his main themes in that series is that what you get there, the reason it's so has such a high death toll is because you get this huge jump in technology that, especially at the beginning, no one's ready for.
Old generals and their old tactics. They're this is what I know, and this is how we fight war. And
you just get wrecked, So there's just tons of loss of life for exactly this reason. You just get this tech, and it takes them years to figure out how to adjust.
Oh, we got to fight wars differently now.
And even then, they're really not. It's not like they figure out how not to lose life. They basically just throw bodies at it. At some point.
Mm-hmm. You went that big transition there was the cavalry to mechanized, tanks or any type of machinery.
And
there was so many people hanging on.
Well, there's mortars, right? So like all of a sudden you get machine guns and mortars, and like you're done. So I have two that I really like that I almost picked. The one that I almost picked, which was The Charge on Fort Wagner and Glory.
Yeah.
So Glory not getting picked. I was like, oh, that's tough not to have that one.
That would have been my fifth pick for sure.
I haven't seen that movie in so long; it'd be tough for me to comment. But you know what? I'm going to go back and watch that because what an iconic movie that I haven't seen.
Seventh grade.
Where I think it has all the things that I like, and I haven't seen it in a long time.
That's a great.
That brings back memories, though. Yeah, of like.
When we're talking about movies, and it has the soundtrack is excellent, the emotion of it. I mean, you've got Denzel and Matthew Broderick, and spoiler alert, when they both get capped, and you're just like, holy fuck, the two main characters have now like basically died. And you're like, I mean, if you don't know the history and you're thinking like, are they going to pull this off? And then they just get fucked over and you're like, oh, wow, they got wrecked. And it's kind of emotional, kind of wild.
So another one that you're not going to like because you're going to say it's not really a war scene, but have you seen Zero Dark 30, the raid, the when they go in and get Osama bin Laden?
No, I haven't seen it.
I
haven't seen that movie.
It's a really good movie, worth a watch. And the end is like the depiction of them like doing the raid on the compound and getting Osama. And it's, I'd say it's a raid, not really like a war scene per se, but I love it. It's super like,
Yeah, I thought about that one, but I didn't think it would count.
It probably doesn't count, but I think that's bullshit. Yeah. Anyway,
I really I thought of the movie because there's some brutal scenes in it, and the only real war scene that I remember was from the movie The Patriot.
That's what I was gonna say, dude.
Yeah,
great one. Yeah. I almost put that in my left out list.
Yeah. And I guess
I like the Patriot. Yeah,
the final battle, I guess, when he kills the bad guy and all that stuff. But that was one that
the scene I love from that movie doesn't count for this, but when he fucking hunts those dudes down, he's got his son up on the bluff, like shooting people, and then he kills them with the little tomahawk.
Aim small, miss small.
Oh, that shit's so dope.
Yeah, dude.
I still don't know what that means exactly. What he always said all the time, aim small, miss small, and I was like, what the hell?
I guess
what's the point he's teaching there?
You gotta pick a little thing in the tiny center of the bullseye, and you fucking pick something in the middle of that. You know what I mean? It's like if you're aiming for a titty, you don't aim at the whole titty. You aim at like the hole of the nipple in the middle of the thing. You know what I'm saying?
And that way, if you miss, it's because if you miss by a little bit, you're still going to hit some type of center mass. Yeah,
I guess so.
Still get some areola in there.
How about there's a couple? You mentioned Top Gun. I mean, being planes involved. What about either the attack on the Japanese carriers in Midway or the Pearl Harbor attack in Pearl Harbor? Like, would those have done anything for you?
Yeah, both of those really good. I actually would say I like Pearl Harbor, that movie, better. I think it was a little more far-fetched, but it was just maybe more iconic. I remember when it came out and I loved it. Midway, I bought that movie. I didn't love it. I don't know why. I don't know what was missing.
I liked it less than I expected.
A little cartoonish. It was like a little bit just too actiony. Like, I don't know.
I think that's it. Like they tried to capture the super highlights of of 13 battles in 2 hours. Like they just tried to throw in all the good parts and left out some of the character building, I think, for it. So you didn't feel vested into anybody role.
Yeah,
big time, I guess.
I almost double dipped on Saving Private Ryan and picked the final battle as also, but I didn't want to pick from the same movie. But that last intense battle scene is pretty amazing too.
That could have been drafted. I'm surprised actually that nobody drafted it.
I almost liked the final battle better than the first. It was longer.
Right.
What I liked about it too, I think, is I was in tanks when I was in. So what they did in that one is they were really trying to disable the tracks. If you remember, they're making the sticky bombs and everything to disable the tracks. And what I didn't realize when I went into the service is when the track is disabled, you are crippled. Like you think like, well, who cares? You still have your turret. No, you're totally stuck. Yeah. And when that happens, you're just waiting for death. Like, well, I'm done. They're going to kill me now eventually. Yeah. So, and your track is vulnerable on the tanks. It's the only thing that's really vulnerable on them, and it's your fear all the time of if I throw track.
Right.
And when you throw track, you're totally stuck. And I loved on that scene how they knew the tanks were coming, and they're like, all right, how do we disable their tracks? And then they made all these traps just to not really kill the tank, but just disable the tracks. So it was cool.
What about the final battle at the end of the first Ninja Turtles movie? Are we going to go like we got all four of them versus the fucking Foot Clan?
That's pretty cool, actually.
I'm with you.
I can't believe we've missed this one, the news fight in Anchorman.
So
I mean, that was.
I was gonna when you said like it's got to be like 5 guys against 5 guys.
I'm just saying
that
was a
war
major battle.
scenes, gentlemen, war scenes. But speaking of war scenes, and Zach, you'll appreciate this one. Dan, how would you have felt about the Battle of Tirazline in Willow, where Mad Mardigan defending the castle, and then they got that big old two-headed monster?
Scene.
Would that have done something for you?
I haven't seen it in a long time, but that was a great one. Again, it would have been for the 80s, that would have been an iconic battle. They couldn't do much more back then with what they had, but, they tried to make it a big scene. They're capturing this castle. It's kind of dead, really. There wasn't much going on, but
and they got the
really
two-headed
cool
monster
really
shows
invested.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
All right, our last
Val Kilmer was
Mad
like a champ.
My favorite part of that scene though is the very end, because the General Kale, he actually gets the Elordan, he gets the baby, and the other army's coming in, and he runs through it like on his horse right through the middle of it. He's just like fucking chopping dudes as he goes through, holding a baby, and like makes it out the end.
And he's
like
got
escapes.
that skull mask with like half of it cut off, and his face is
Fucking
bleeding and
legit.
shit. So dope.
Yeah, didn't he have like a Wolverine glove too? Like one of his gloves was a blade sticking out of it, right?
I think he did.
Or no, is that a different movie?
No, did he have a blade? I don't know if he did.
I thought he used 2 swords, and one was like a built into his fist or something.
It did,
yeah.
but it had
Yeah,
it had like a shroud that went over his hand.
It's a sword, but it goes over his arm, so it's like connected to his arm. Yeah.
Okay, our last one for you to comment on, the final scene in Harry Potter. Big positive, or
how?
You know what? You laugh at it. I just watched the whole series of Harry Potter again. I loved them.
I love
them. They're great.
Dude. I don't laugh.
And the last one was really good. And again, you get the emotional investment to it. You feel,
goddamn right. Some people die.
It was good. I like
some of the most important characters die.
Yeah, it's a pretty violent battle. That's
Spoiler
true.
alert: Snape's on the right side the whole time.
Dude, you just ruined an entire childhood
8-movie arc.
Joy.
Danny, Cold Mountain, Hacksaw Ridge, any of those do anything for you?
Oh, don't even get me started on Hacksaw Ridge.
Like them both. I mean, those just fall into like the Hamburger Hill movies where they're good.
Yeah.
But
the Battle of the Crater, the Battle of the Crater at the beginning of Cold Mountain. I mean, Civil War. The Union thinks that they're like, oh, we'll just blow up underneath them, and then they create that crater for themselves and just get picked off. It's pretty violent.
Hacksaw Ridge is absolute hot garbage, and anyone that says Hacksaw Ridge is not hot garbage is wrong or stupid.
But the Okinawa scenes are pretty damn violent.
What's the one that came out recently within the last 10 years or so, where it was the guy where for religious purposes he wouldn't fight, but he was a medic?
That's
Hacksaw Ridge.
Hacksaw Ridge.
Is that Hacksaw Ridge?
It's the worst.
I wouldn't say it was that. I didn't mind it, Nate. I thought it was okay.
I would, if I could, I would actually take a shit on the movie if that was a thing.
So let's put it this way. Most of these I've watched multiple times, and that one I've never watched again. So I watched it one time and never watched it again.
That's the correct decision.
There you go.
All right, so that is the war movie.
Dan, we appreciate you a bunch for coming on for these last 2 weeks of pods, and it's always a pleasure to have you, man. And this summer I'll try to get up to visit sometime. And,
Thanks, Dan.
Check out the new digs, and we appreciate you for coming on. It's always a blast. You've always got the best stories, and I hope that that arm heals up soon, because goddamn.
Hey, what are we?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
What are we
3
doing?
months.
What are we doing next?
Next week it's a Zach movie, folks. Get ready. We're going back to the classic 90s Silence of the Lambs.
It's not because it's a scary movie. It's because he's throwing cum. Let's go.
Why you got to make it graphic? Call it Mungu.
That was in the also
Mungu.
Call it Mungu? I don't even know what that
the
means.
Mungu.
He says that? Mungu?
No, but that's what I said.
I've never heard anyone call it Mungu before.
He throws the mungu up your leg.
He flings.
That was in the also rans. Also rans of most memorable movie orgasms was the
when what's his name?
Miggs
flings the Mungu.
I've never heard of this verbiage.
Oh, well.
Silence of the Lambs. We're going to go hang out with Clarice and our dude, what's his name? No.
Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins, yeah.
Sir Anthony Hopkins, please.
I like how you went with Clarice, but then Sir Anthony.
Well, she is going to be in the new True Detective season 4.
I saw
which I'm
that.
fucking excited about. Yeah. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about
we're going to have some wine
serial
and free
killers. We'll talk about a bottle of Chianti and some fava beans.
All right.
Why didn't you do it as Forrest Gump?
Chianti.
I want to have some Chianti, Jenny.
Mama made some fava beans.
When that guy throws his cum at Clarice, and then he's
Don't
like,
say
"I'm
cum.
dizzy."
Same mango. Same mango.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, that's what we've got going next week. And folks, like we said, if you're new here, go share it to some friends, tell a friend, put it in their phone, say, listen to this podcast. You're going to enjoy it because I'm a dumb fucker that likes crazy shit and you're a dumb fucker that likes crazy shit. So listen to us, right?
Yeah, say it exactly like that.
Yeah, you should say it.
That's awesome. You're awesome, Brad.
That's how I became a fan.
Hey, all you dumb fuckers.
All right. Bye-bye, Jenny.
I wanna be at Beverly's, bringing me home with my movies, just a blind by, no reason why. I love this scene. Nick Nazak and Brad, your favorite podcast, the star.